Today we're making corned beef and cabbage. I have a 3.5-pound brisket already in the pot, covered it with water, and added a seasoning packet. It's recommended that you cook this up to almost a full hour per pound. We're going to let this go on a boil, reduce to a high simmer, and let it cook for 4 hours. Our corned beef is done, and we are now going to put it in a pan, cover it with foil, and put it in the oven on about 200 to keep it warm while I'm making the cabbage, the red potatoes, and the carrots to go along with our supper. Next, we're going to boil our red potatoes. I've taken some of the broth that the corned beef cooked in. It is a bit salty, so you may want to add a few cups of water to it. And I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes. And I'm also going to add a little bit of parsley. Just anything that you can give more flavor works well. The vegetable with this is going to be carrots, and I've already taken a carrot and cut it in half, and I'm going to make carrot sticks. I'm just going to keep cutting down the middle and cutting down the middle again. I like making carrot sticks. It makes a really nice presentation with this dish. So let's get this last one cut up. Down the middle again, and if you have to cut it again, go ahead. You basically want to get these all about the same size. Our carrots are ready to be cooked, and this is not your traditional boiled carrots in the water. This recipe is to add about 4 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 cup of sugar, and you're basically just going to put that with the carrots, and we're going to put it on about medium and just let them simmer, and the juices that come from the carrots is going to make up the liquid. Steam these carrots. They are going to be delicious. Now we're going to go ahead and cut up our cabbage. I'm just going to go ahead and take off the outer leaves, and this right here you don't want to cut up and eat. It is like the core of an apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slice down the side. Set that aside. I'm going to go down the other side and make another 1/4. Try not to lose my cabbage. And then you see in the middle here is where that core is. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And see right here, you want to be cutting around that. So we're going to go ahead and come down again. Set that over there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take it out. Perfect. And that goes into our garbage bowl. Thank you, Rachel Ray, for that wonderful idea. And then I like to just cut this up into bite-sized pieces. Some people like to leave it in quarters and steam it. You know, whatever is your choice, feel free. Because I cook my cabbage a little bit differently, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. I'm just going to go ahead and finish chopping. For the cabbage recipe on this dinner, I've started with about 4 pieces of bacon, and I've cut them up and I've sauteed them. I added a little oil to the pan just to get them started. And now that they're all nice and done and they're a bit crispy, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my cabbage. Oops, it jumped out. Now I know it looks like a lot, but this is going to dwindle down, just like if you were cooking kale. It's a leaf, and it's going to also release its juices into the pan, so I'm not adding any liquid at this time. But I am going to add a bit of pepper, and I really prefer freshly ground pepper over any canned pepper. It's just my preference. There. And we're just going to go ahead and cover that and let it simmer for about a good 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and check on it and give it a stir. Our cabbage is looking good. I've had it on a very, very low simmer for about 10 minutes. It's just starting to soften up. And I'm tossing it with some of the bacon fat and the bits and pieces of bacon. And now I'm going to go ahead and take a bit of that broth, about a ladle full, that we cooked our corned beef in, and add that. Give it a nice little toss. We're going to go ahead and cover it again and we're going to turn our heat up to about medium-high. Keep an eye on that and check back on it in about 5 minutes. Our cabbage is looking wonderful. All of the flavor from the corned beef broth has blended in, and the bacon fat and the bacon. And if you'd like to have your cabbage a little bit on the sweet side, you can add about a tablespoon of sugar. And also, one of the things I forgot when it was first cooking was to add in my salt. And if you don't want to have salt on this, that's totally up to you if you have a restricted diet. But I'm just pulling in a couple pinchfuls because the bacon does have salt and the broth does have salt. And if you have any spice that's called Everglades seasoning in the house, it's also very good. Just a light touch of that on here really brings out great flavor. Back to our carrots. They've been boiling away and simmering away. And you can see we did not even put water in them, but yet they've got all this wonderful juice from the carrots themselves. And what I want to do is set this on high for just a couple of minutes. They're soft, they're ready to go. And you see with the juice here, with the butter and the sugar, it's going to caramelize the carrots. As you can see, the juice is starting to thicken up, and it's now coating all of the carrots. With this step, you want to watch it carefully because you don't want that to burn. A lot of sugar and butter, and it will burn easily. So we're going to go ahead and let this just cook up for another couple of minutes, and we'll take a look at our potatoes. I've gone ahead and drained the potatoes, and I put them back into the pot. I've added some butter, some more parsley, and of course we're going to need to add, sorry about that, some fresh ground pepper. I gave them a taste before I decided to add the salt, mostly because, again, that corned beef brisket broth is a bit salty. But they seem to be alright. Potatoes are known for absorbing salt. So we'll throw a little bit on there. Flavor everything. Every layer of your food. And there you have it. Our lovely corned beef and cabbage supper. We make this every year on St. Paddy's Day, but you can enjoy this anytime. It's a favorite in our home, and I hope it will be in yours too.